This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning, Rabbi. Welcome, everyone. Erev Shabbos Parshas Hachodesh, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. We take out 3 Sifrei Torah this Shabbos: Parshas Vayikra, Rosh Chodesh, Parshas Hachodesh. 3 Sifrei Torah, a rare occurrence. And the Haftorah this week is Kol Ha'aretz Yiyu El Hashuma Hazois LaNasi BeYisrael. So, what Navi does that come from? Ezekiel, Yechezkel, Memhei Memvav. So the pasuk says like this: Uvivai Hanasi Derech Ulam Asher Yavai Uvidarka Yetzei. When the Nasi comes into the Beit Hamikdash, he comes in the gate of the Ulam, and he goes back the way he came. Okay, good to know. Uvivayam Haaretz Lifnei Hashem B'mayadim Abba Derech Shar Tzafayin Lishtachavos Yetzei Derech Shar Negev. Meaning, the ones that come in through the north, they go out the south. V'haba derech shar negev yetzei derech shar tzafayin. If you come in the south, you leave the north. Yashuv derech hashar asher ba'avoi ki nichacha yetzei. Meaning, you go on one side, you come out the other side. You go on the right, you leave the left. Not like the Nasi. The Nasi leaves the same way he comes in. But everybody else, every average Joe, has to leave the opposite. Oh, pasuk yud. Again it repeats. The Nasi, no. The Nasi has to leave the very same way that he came in. So obviously this is a very important business, that the Nasi has to leave the same way he came in, because we say it twice, and we sandwich it with the halacha in between, that the Am Haaretz, he comes in the right, he leaves the left. Comes in the top, he leaves the bottom. What is the meaning of this? What is this all about? So, on the way here, on the Van Wyck, which is a very important time to try to accomplish, otherwise it's a supreme waste of time. I once upon a time heard from one of my Rabbi, Rabbi Yamin Luban, who quoted the Chasid Yaavetz, and on the Van Wyck I was able to find it today in Perek Aleph of Pirkei Avos. And the Chasid Yaavetz basically speaks about the following subject. You ever hear sometimes somebody's talking about something? You once gave a shir about that. Yeah, right. I once spoke about Torah in my life. Correct. On Pesach you have to be. Oh, you once gave a shir on Pesach. Yeah, there are more than one shir on Pesach, but there is more than one subject about Pesach. It says in the Haggadah, I heard something about the Haggadah. Pal, I'm talking about the Manashah. You might have heard something in Lachmanya. And the Chacham, I once heard about Torah in the Chacham Mahu Omer. There are millions of Torah. On the word Chacham, I once... Pal, do you have any depth to you? There are billions and millions of layers of meaning on every letter, on every understanding. Why are you so superficial? You heard something in the general area, and therefore what? There's maybe you're going to hear something new now. Maybe you're going to appreciate it more. But that's not how people are. People are, that? Okay, next. I already learned Gemara. When did you learn Gemara? I once cracked open one Masechta 70 years ago, so I'm done with Gemara. Now I learn Yushalmi. Now I learn Kabbalah. Yeah? So that's the way of Amei Haaretz, who, please, everybody turn off your phones. But a Chacham understands that the real growth in Avodas Hashem is from something he already learned, to dig a little deeper, to understand in a new way, to understand in a new dimension. Their mind is not turned off just because they hear something that sounds vaguely, remotely similar to something that they once heard. And it's the same thing in the Beit Hamikdash. The highest madrega will be reached if on the way in you see the menorah. I saw the menorah already. You saw the menorah already? Do you know what every Gevia is teaching you? You know what the message of every Haftorah is? Do you know why it's curved that way? Do you know what hashkafa and machshava. Each detail represents. You know how you could probe it further. If you're on the madrega, you don't need any. You saw the menorah on the way in. Make sure you go back and see the menorah again. Don't go to the shulchan. Don't go to the mizbeach Hachodesh. Make sure you look at the same eon. Eon gets you on a higher level than just like seeing a lot of different things on a very superficial level. But Nebuch the Amaretz, he said, "Oh, I learned that already. Let me see something else. I'm bored of that already," because he never tasted it. So says the Chasid Yaavetz. Let me read to you a little bit. He says, "V'ha'inyan ki mailas hachacham al Amaretz, himala ruchnius loigufnis nira luchash." It's a spiritual attribute. At first, you see two people, one's a chacham and one's an amaretz. They look the same. They both have a nose, they both have two ears, they both have a lip and teeth. However, the truth is, on a deeper level, there is no comparison at all between a chacham and amaretz. For this reason, the Navi Yecheskel in the Haftarah this week says, when the amaretz comes in, he cannot leave the way he came in. We're makbid. Hashem is not. I don't want you looking at the same thing twice, because you're going to say, "Oh, I saw it already. Been there, done that." And therefore, whenever he comes in, he comes out, because an Amaretz sees everything superficially. Oh, I once was in a Beit Hamikdash. I once ate food in my life. Everything is a different taste. Everything is different. But the Nasi, who has a sophisticated intellect, he will grow by viewing the same thing he learned already and saw already on a deeper, more meaningful way. This is the meaning of why the Nasi leaves the same way he came, and the Amaretz has to go out a different way than he came in. Okay, Rabbi says, so that is the first offering for today.
And Nasi doesn't have to?
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.